Tim Berners-Lee started this internet, and there is one method of getting internet for the students called shell account for 500 rupees. I was not having telephone, but I wanted internet. Somehow I got a telephone after 6 months, and for that I figured out a way because you can apply on a medical grounds and get telephone. Because own your telephone was 25,000 rupees of deposit, which obviously I never had. So somehow I got that, somehow I took loan and got a computer, took a shell account and started researching. But one underlying point that I learned in all this 15 months, so to say, is the opportunity clearly lies in problem. So my visiting card at the back, right, always said, every problem is an opportunity. And that is what we do in today's startup. What is the problem that you want to solve? Right? And I firmly believed in this, and I firmly followed. So I used to find problems. Those 15 months, everywhere I used to go, oh, there is a problem in setting up a software technology park. So let me try and get some piece out of action of the piece. Right? So I used to do this. This was my mantra. And at that time I said, why don't we have software technology parks in Nagpur? I researched and wrote a lot of letters and emails to people in the US. People who had gone out from Nagpur, figured them out, wrote letters to them. And that gave me a break in terms of what to do, right? Help them set up STPI units in Nagpur, right? And I could tell them what to do, how to establish, because they were naive, they were not knowing, it was bureaucratic. So that helped me early on to raise some money for myself. So I used to tell them, I used to make nice reports for them. See, their cash was something hard to come by. I used to chase cash flow, not value creation. Because obviously you need to earn bread and butter at that time. So I used to go to someone and say, hey, look, you are in a brick and mortar business. How about starting something in IT? I'll give you a startup report. So I used to make a nice report, charge 4-5 lakh rupees, right, at that time. And I used to charge cheap. I used to never come cheap because this is a nice report. And the reports that were not available on the market, I could create it based on my own understanding. Read and create and spin a story around Nagpur. Say the labor cost is least. There are so many engineering colleges. I used to build this story and believe in the story early on. And then once they are saying yes, I used to work with them very deeply in terms of helping them set up business. Obviously, I never had an office. So I used to go in their office and sit there and tell them, why don't we do this, why don't we do that? So I've done a lot of startup things. So I met a guy called Ved Arya who founded a fund called Milestone Fund. He was the CEO of Pantaloon Retail, a fairly young guy. Unfortunately, he died while he was doing his morning walk some 5 years back. So he told me one thing. He was very fascinated with me, the way I spoke, and I used to, connect well with people at that time. It was almost 2 years, 3 years of really hard work, right? Solving really yourselves gave me that speed. So he told me, how would you compete with the best guy in Bombay, best guy in Manhattan? So I had no answer. So he gave me a clue there. He said, why don't you build something which is sector focused, right? So then I said, that is the mantra. So that was the time when I said, let me build a company which is focused on a domain, right? And before that I had learned, you need to have that mantra, opportunity lies where the problem is. So then I zeroed on 2 opportunities. One was natural resources and energy, because energy short supply tha, right? Those were the times where there were a lot of power cuts, and railways. So those were the 2 areas that we picked up and started innovating around it. So that's how that was again one cutting edge that we did, and which is bearing fruits today. So a lot of innovation we talk about, like there is a product innovation, there is something which is cutting edge, disruptive, so on and so forth. Being not an engineer, you won't do a process engineering innovation in railways, right? So that is hard to come by. So then we said, what is the problem statement today? When we said problem, what is the problem statement? I asked myself. The problem today is still there's a power cut, right? Why are we not able to generate electricity, right? Because we have resources, we have people who are going to consume. There are consumers, there are resources. So we said the resources are not in the hands of private. They are not in the hands of large corporates. So we did a business model innovation, right? But when we started doing this, we figured out this needs government intervention. So then my Bombay trips started reducing. I used to go Delhi wards, right? I used to go to the policymakers and say, hey, look, you are setting up an energy project. Why don't we do it on a PPP basis? Public-private partnership is something in energy that we started, which AXYKno started in 2007. While the Electricity Act was there in 2003, but that is something that we started in India. We really told them, to the ministries, this is how we need to do. And when we said this, we started getting mandates. Because this was something that we were saying for the first time. And again, a very key lesson there. When you innovate, there is no price to it. Meaning, it could be priceless. Meaning, you are not appointed, you are not selected through a process. You are selected based on your pitch. You are paid based on your pitch, not based on market discovery or a tender process. So when we sold this idea, we were told by the ministry, okay, how sure are you? We said, I'm 100% sure. I was two people team, knowing nothing of energy except few study done.